Okay, we've got the DOG and the lawnmower because, we're outside. What can we know? What we can know? I keep mixing that up. I have started it. I started it originally on ebook, and I was finding it very difficult, not necessarily to follow, but to keep my eyes open. My mind kept drifting. I have a lot going on right now. John was in the hospital and now he's home. This type of prose is not the most engaging, like it doesn't bring you in. It is very poetic. It is very lovely. There are some incredible turns of phrases. It's a very masterfully painted start. However, it is slow. It is deliberate. I'm finding it somewhat repetitive. Really? This is why I don't film here. This is Cowboy. It is somewhat repetitive. I've thought about a lot of things with this one. First thought being, this is like you sit down with an old retired man and he's recounting his days. Sorry, now I'm on the audiobook. He's recounting his days and his thoughts on life and academia, and it's sort of this ongoing ramble. There's no sort of trajectory. It's sort of mumblings. He's a well-spoken, educated man who's well-read. You're on your 7th cup of tea and you're struggling to follow what's happening. My second thought is this is a literary version of The Sea in Summer, same universe, but both of them are exploring how we view history. So I get it. I've gotten the gist of the book. The book is we romanticize history, but we can never actually know specifically what's going on with individuals. We can try and get in their heads as much as we can, but sometimes things get romanticized and are not at all as they were. I will update you either halfway through, so we'll see you then. I finished What We Can Know, and I've got such mixed feelings about it. There is something refreshing about the way that this is told. There is also slow steadiness to it. This is definitely written by somebody who is experienced and knows how to weave a story. I'm currently in a very odd point in my life right now. If you've been following what's going on, my husband, John, is in hospice right now. So books are an escape, and I think the reason why I feel mixed about this one is because I don't think I read it at the right point in my life, and yet I think I read it at the perfect point in my life. I haven't quite put words to it yet. This is most definitely an idea book where there are lots of ideas about history and who tells history and why we get into history. There's a lot of commentary on that. There's a lot of commentary on the boys' club of writers, the almost inherent snootiness that comes from certain circles. There's a commentary on the feminine, the way a woman can get erased by a man's words. So the story revolves around this poem that was supposedly exceptional and then it disappeared. Nobody can find it. And then the second half of the book is the voice of the woman who the poem was about. Without spoiling anything, her view on the poem is very different from the historian who's trying to find the poem. To her, it's a farce. It's not her at all, and yet it takes something away from her experience. but that is the thing that he becomes known for, and her voice and existence gets erased in the obsession of this historian to find the poem. It is also so rare that we do get the voice of the person whom the poem was written about. Think about if we had Shakespeare writing a sonnet about a particular person, and then we also had that person's perspective on how they received that poem, whether they thought it encapsulated them, whether or not they were embarrassed by it, or they loved it, or just anything, how they felt about being written about. I think this is like a stormy autumn day where you have nothing to do but to sit by the fire in the evening and read. This is one that sort of seeps into your bones and sits there. There's a heaviness to it, there's a realness to it. And I'm so glad that Ian McEwan handled this story well. I am hesitant to read anything else by him at this moment, but I am willing and open to try something else. In my head, I have this as a 3.5 stars. Could be bumped up to 4. I need to sit on this one. He did a really good job. Cheers. Next book. My vlog has taken a little longer than expected due to the fact that at the beginning of May, my husband passed away from cancer. I've taken a little pause on reading. We're just kind of going through it. It's my last book on my 5-star predictions. I'm doing so well so far. So let's see how our last one goes. This is the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This is kind of a fun one. I'm so glad that I left it for last, but also the wait list. I put it on wait in February and it's only now just available. It is the end of May. Last year I read the magical innkeeping one and I adored it, and everybody said this one was so much better. So obviously it's going to be a 5-star and I'm already enjoying it. I just like the way that it's being told to me. It's sort of like nature documentary, that funny voiceover of like you're just being kind of told this hilarious story. It's chuckle worthy, smirk worthy, and I'm quite enjoying it so far, so I'm going to give you an update when I'm about halfway through. Adorable. It is cozy. The stakes feel rather low. It gives me Secret Garden kind of vibes, this like hidden house. So it's following Mika Moon, who's a witch, and she's always been on her own, and she's always been told that witches can't congregate together, otherwise there's like too much magic, and so they have to be separate, but every so often they meet together for the Very Secret Society. Mika gets hired by some people that are kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and it turns out that they have 3 young girls who've been collected all over, and they all are witches and they need some training. So they've hired Mika to train them. So my only complaint is that there feels like a surplus of characters. There feels like there's just one extra that's not needed. And every so often we're like mentioned that they exist because they exist, but they're not really offering anything. There's just something about it that's not quite sitting with me. We have to figure that out.
Other than that, I am rather enjoying this. It is cozy, it is lovely, and I'm so very happy that this is my last book in this vlog. So this is my last update of this vlog that ended up being the longest vlog time-wise. I finished the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I really enjoyed it. Definitely 4 stars. I kind of think I enjoyed the Magical Innkeeping one better. And maybe that's because this is one of those authors which it doesn't matter which book you read first. The one that you read first, you end up loving more because she's just got a very distinct style. And I really enjoy the style. I really enjoy the witchiness of it all and the coziness of it all and the romance of it all. I would recommend either of these sort of interchangeably. I would favor probably the Magical Innkeeping one. I think I liked that one just a little bit more. I felt like it was a bit more polished. This one, like I said, my only complaint was the fact that it felt like there was one too many characters to keep track of. Like, why did it have to be 3 witches? I get the whole like symbolism and witchiness of it all of having like 3, but why did it have to be 3 kids? Because I think 2 of them I could not tell apart. Why did there have to be the gay couple as well as Jamie? I didn't know why there had to be both. I understand they were there kind of like for the messaging, but that felt then like the character was just there to say, here's this lesson that I'm trying to impart. The idea of being oneself and being safe and loving the people that we want to love. I get that, why that's there. It still felt a little superfluous to me. And maybe that's why I think I liked the first one that I read better, was because all of the characters felt like they were meant to be there. And maybe that's something that she workshopped. I don't know. And this might just be like a me thing. It might not have bothered anybody else, but it just stuck out to me. So there you have it. This was, yes, I said it was a very long one. I started it back in February. The Very Secret Society I put on hold and didn't get until June, so it's June now. A lot has happened since then. My husband had a reprieve and had energy. He had a reprieve from chemo, and then he ended up back in hospital, and then his health declined very rapidly, and he went into hospice and he died. So this was the first book that I really completed after. And I will say, romance is a little difficult right now to read, but I think this one bridged the right line of being joyful as well. I'd like to just leave that there, and I'll come back for another vlog, and I'll keep making videos. I've said in another one before, John was the reason why I started making videos. I had wanted to make them for years, and finally he said, I will give you a space, I will give you a room, and I will give you time so you can do that. I'm gonna honor that gift and continue to make videos. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Karen. I'm the Book Libronaut, and I explore all different types of books. We'll see you again soon.